Have you ever almost fallen asleep in history class because you were bored with what your teacher is talking about? Have you ever wondered why it is required to learn about what happened in the past, the history of our government, or the history of other civilizations? Well, I am going to talk about how you can be fascinated with history. You can actually learn from it, relate to it, and be excited to learn more. I remember struggling to stay awake on numerous occasions in class, but I want to express to you the importance of being serious about learning from the people of the past. I will talk about how they seem different to us, but my second point is that it is important to relate to them, and then I will give you an example using Ruth and Boaz. Why do they seem different? They lived in a different time period, they lacked technology, and they had less advanced resources. They lived in a different culture, they had different traditions. They're not alive anymore, and it seems like so long ago. But in reality, they had the same thoughts, the same feelings, the same emotions, the same worries. They were all people just like us. Secondly, why is it important to relate to them? It's important to learn from their mistakes. What about the mistakes of Old Testament characters? When Moses lacked faith and struck the rock instead of speaking to it for the second time? Or what about I can mention the names David and Bathsheba, and you know how to learn from them. What about the Holocaust? We can learn that it is vital to conquer our biases and prejudices. History can repeat itself. By paying attention to the occurrences in the past, we can avoid going through those tragic situations again. We can learn from the Holocaust so that it will not happen again. Now I will give you an example using Ruth and Boaz. We can learn how to love like Ruth. According to the Judges Ruth commentary by Block, Ruth embodies the fundamental principle of the nation's ethic. You shall love your God with all your heart, Deuteronomy 6:5, and your neighbor as yourself, Leviticus 19:18. She left her family in Moab and gave up everything to serve Naomi, her mother-in-law. You can also see God's sovereignty through Boaz's and Ruth's life. Ruth happened to glean in Boaz's field, and Boaz could continue Naomi's family line. In the same commentary, Hubbard says, God is constantly working behind the scenes. He directs and controls the situations through his gracious providence. When I began to relate to this story and learn from it, I was able to see that God has a plan for everything that happens. Ruth goes to the threshing floor and she asks Boaz to be her family redeemer, to marry her. Francine Rivers interprets what Boaz might have been praying at that moment. Oh God, give me the strength to do what I should, even if it means seeing another woman I love walk away with another man. Boaz was much older than most single men, and Boaz longed for God to bring him a woman into his life. He finally had the opportunity, but he knew there was another man who came before him to be Ruth's family redeemer. He selflessly brought Ruth to that other man, even though he loved her. God rewarded him and had the family redeemer first in line relinquish his rights. If Boaz can wait that long for God to give him a wife, I can learn to trust and wait on God's specific plan for my life. Remember, we are not supposed to read the Bible to find people to relate to. We should read and study to learn more about God and how much he has done for his people. But God also wants us to look at his people and learn from their mistakes and also from their great accomplishments. So, in conclusion, the next time you feel like falling asleep in class, think about how we are a part of history right now. Even though people of the past seem different, in reality, we all have the same thoughts, feelings, emotions, and worries. We should take the incidences in history and learn from them, so we will not have to make the same mistakes again. One of my favorite stories in the Bible is that of Ruth and Boaz. The more I study their story, the more I realize they are more than just characters in the Bible. Ruth and Boaz were humans, just like you and me. Ruth's love inspires me to love harder. Boaz's patience shows me to be patient. Their story jumps off of the page and explains to me that God is always in control.